Hey there, this is Dwayne from IFAS IT, and this is going to be an orientation guide on how to attend a IFAS virtual conference using Microsoft Teams. Throughout this video, you'll learn why we've chosen Teams as our hosting platform and a few how-tos and best practices around using Microsoft Teams. We'll start at the beginning with how to install Teams and get logged in, and we'll end with a demo overview of what our virtual venue will look like. So if you're ready, let's get started. I'd like to start by explaining why we're using Microsoft Teams for this event. Microsoft Teams is a collaboration platform that allows us to capture all of the information that is related to this conference and generated during the conference and put it all in one easy to find place. I'd like for you to think about Teams as if it were a virtual representation of a hotel venue where you'd ordinarily attend a conference. When you show up to the conference and walk in the door, generally the first thing you would see is the lobby. Here in Teams, you can see it's called the General Channel. This channel or room will serve as a place to receive updates about the conference, as well as information about general sessions and keynote sessions. So be sure to check back here often for news and updates while your conference is going on. Also, if you'd please direct your attention to the top of the general room, you'll notice that there are highlighted resources available to you that will help you navigate the conference, including a link to this attendee guide, as well as the conference agenda and other useful resources. Moving in a little bit further, you'll see that there are various rooms underneath the general room. These rooms will contain topic-specific information about various tracks, posters, vendors, and tech support, and even a lounge where you can hang out and start a meeting. This is where your meetings will actually occur while the conference is happening. Now that you've gotten a quick overview of why we're using Teams, we're going to jump into the next part of our tutorial. For the best conference experience, we highly recommend downloading and installing the Teams desktop application, which is available for either Windows or Mac. To download, open up your favorite web browser and head over to aka.ms/download Teams. From here, you'll be able to pick your platform and download the appropriate desktop installer. Once installed and launched, you'll want to log into the Teams application using your organization's credentials. This is generally the same as the account you use to log into a university workstation. At the University of Florida, it would be known as your GatorLink. Once you have Teams installed, you may want to jump into the settings menu and make a few tweaks. You can find the settings menu at the top right underneath your profile picture or initials. From here, you'll be able to adjust the look and feel of Teams by switching between either dark mode or regular mode. You'll also be able to adjust the layout of Teams between grid view and list view. From the devices section, you'll be able to choose your microphone, webcam, and speakers to ensure that you have the right devices selected once you start joining meetings. I would also suggest taking a look at the notification section and making an adjustment to the custom notification settings. Simply click on Custom and take a look at Replies to Conversations I Replied To. By adjusting this setting to off, this will prevent you from experiencing a notification storm from meetings that you've previously attended and left. Since conversation is contained inside of each meeting, if you were to chat inside of a meeting and then leave the meeting, you will still be notified when people respond to your messages. Disabling this setting will save you a lot of headache. If you're an external guest coming from outside the University of Florida, then you'll need to go through a couple of extra steps to redeem your invitation to become a member of the Gator Nation. First, start by checking your email address that you used to register for the conference. You should see a Microsoft Teams invitation in your inbox. From here, you want to select the Open Microsoft Teams button. When prompted for the permissions, please go ahead and review them and then click Accept. If you're not coming from another university or organization that uses Office 365, then you might be prompted to go ahead and create a Microsoft account and password. You'll want to use this account moving forward to access your virtual conference. After accepting your guest invitation, you'll now have the ability to switch between your organization and the University of Florida from inside of your Teams application. To do this, go up to the top right underneath your profile picture or initials and select Accounts and Orgs. In some cases, this option may not be available immediately after accepting your guest invite. You may be able to jumpstart the process by manually exiting your Teams application and relaunching it. To access your virtual venue, go ahead and click on Accounts and Orgs and select University of Florida Guest. Upon switching, you'll see that you have been added to a team within our organization to access the conference. Now that you've got Teams installed and you're signed into the University of Florida, let's take a look at our virtual venue. The first thing that you'll see is the general room. Think of this like the lobby in that virtual hotel that we talked about earlier. Here, you'll be able to keep up with what's currently happening throughout the duration of the conference, as well as access some very important info like links to general sessions and keynote sessions. This room functions as our PA system throughout the conference, so be sure to check back here often. Typically, you'll find a room that's been designated as the lounge. This room is a free room for anyone to use to catch up with your peers, post a funny meme or a cat gif, or even start your own meeting if you'd like to catch up face to face. To start your own meeting in the lounge, head up to the top right corner of the menu and select the Meet button. Give your meeting a name, select your audio source, and then click Join. Anyone who's available in the conference will have an opportunity to connect to this meeting and hang out. We've seen some pretty interesting things, all the way from Cards Against Humanity games to live jam out sessions. So I'm looking forward to some of the fun and innovative ways that you can come up with to use the lounge. It's not uncommon in a conference to have multiple concurrent sessions running. In Teams, we accomplish this by creating multiple rooms so that we can have multiple meetings running at once. You'll be able to reference the agenda in the general room to know when each session is occurring and in what room that meeting will be held. You're also free to click on each room and see which meetings have been scheduled and find the ones that are relevant to you. If there are multiple meetings scheduled in a room, as seen here, be sure that you choose the correct one by reading the meeting description. When meetings are running, you'll see an indication next to each channel with a purple camera icon. As well as the meeting itself will turn into a Join button. This lets you know that you can jump in and participate in the session. By default, Teams will only show a maximum of 10 rooms, so be sure to check underneath hidden channels to explore other rooms that you may be interested in. You can opt to show and hide rooms in order to personalize your listing of rooms. Think of this like building a program on the fly. You get to decide which rooms are available to you and which ones are hidden. As you explore each room, again, be sure to check across the top and look for any interesting tabs that you may find. These could lead you to more bits and pieces of useful information about that room's topic. You may find that we have dedicated rooms to virtual posters as well as to any vendor who may have participated in your virtual conference. Last and certainly not least, you'll find our tech support channel. If at any point during the conference you find that you're having technical trouble, please visit the tech support room to reach IT support. We'll be on standby to make sure that we resolve your issue quickly. If the trouble that you're having is actually preventing you from accessing Teams, then please go ahead and fill out a support request at the address that's on your screen now. I'd like to thank you for watching this orientation guide. I hope that you found this information useful and then it has you prepared for your virtual conference in Microsoft Teams.